Yeah, Carl asked me at the casino. He's like, I'm taking my family up to Atlantic City. What should we do?
And you were like, ditch them in the room and gamble?
Howdy, it's Monday, November 26th, 2018, and this is episode 86 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City and Casino Biz podcast. I'm Kyle Askin, joined, as always, by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
Happy to be here. A little bit of a delayed episode 86. We do have some importance of the number 86, not the year 86, because not much happened, but a couple things I found out. The pool at Harrah's holds 86,000 gallons of water. And the Bass Pro Shops is 86,000 square feet.
The soon-to-be-closed pool at Harrah's for remodeling.
Yeah, so I don't know if those facts blew your mind.
They did. That is why the people keep coming back and listening.
Yeah, if anybody's still here,
yes.
We do have some stuff to talk about in the show.
That and the fact that it's just more trouble than it's worth to delete us out of their podcast list.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's really our savior.
I've got several podcasts in my thing that I like that have not had a new episode in years. Like,
well, but at that point, they're not really,
encroaching.
Clogging
Atlantic
up
City
anything.
Story.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
We actually clog up the feed somewhat infrequently.
Every couple of weeks, iTunes is like, Atlantic City Story posted 46 new episodes. And I'm like, oh my God, I've just been missing all of them. They've been doing it this whole time. And then it's like just something happened with the feed where the feed totally refreshed and it's all the same episodes.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Are we the only Atlantic City podcast? Probably not, but certainly Mel Taylor's podcast is still going, right? And yeah, I don't know. So do you want to update us on your Diamond Celebration status?
A true saga that it has become, my Diamond Celebration dinner. So I got an email, I think where I left off is I got an email from them saying, yeah, we'll put it on your card. And I was sort of debating whether or not to push back. I think I did send that email and then it had been 9 days, right?
Yep.
In the last, so I gave it another day and then I was like, okay, I'm going to email again, and just sent basically the same email, but just said, hey, can I just get reward credits? I figured I'd just shoot my shot. Mm-hmm. And then pretty quickly, I got an email back from a different rep saying, hey, the guy you talked to is out of town, but it's on there. Your $100 celebration dinner is on there. As for any other sort of reward credits or extending the deadline, we would have to see whether you use it or not, and then take that into consideration after January 31st, but no guarantees.
I think when he said he was out of town, I think that was like, the computer system look that he gave you anything at all, and when the computer is very clearly like, we don't have to give this guy anything, right, so he's been like, oh.
This was marked resolved in our system, sir. So at that point, I felt like I was out of things to argue.
Yeah.
And I didn't really feel like pushing it anymore, because I was like, yeah, he's kind of saying like, well, your whole argument hinges on you might not be able to make it. And I'm taking that away from you.
It was a good line of reasoning by that rep. He was more on his game than the last guy you talked to.
Yeah, but he definitely said like, it's going to be up to management at that time, so no guarantees.
So February 1st, you'll have to email them back?
Yeah, unless I use it, which is probably the smart thing to do. Nah. I'll go just by myself instead of using it on you. I'll take the bus down. I'll go to Veracruz, which is where you want to go.
Crafty Crab, just to really, even though they don't even take it.
Yeah, indeed.
Buy a bunch of crab legs, dump them into the ocean, and then leave.
My daughter started watching some SpongeBob SquarePants, and I can't hear the name Crafty Crab now without thinking Krusty Krab. Which is the restaurant that SpongeBob works at. Yeah. Like I when you said Crafty Crab, I was like, is that the SpongeBob restaurant? That can't be the same thing. It's not quite the same thing. Anyways, that's my Diamond Celebration dinner update. I feel like I got the bare minimum, and that's okay, I guess.
Looking for a reason to lose.
Yeah, looking for a reason to give up.
That's right.
I think the fight has just been delayed. Do you have anything new on Macau? I know when we last talked, you had one room one
booked.
night booked.
No, I mean, I think we've booked tentatively the first night, the Ritz-Carlton in Hong Kong, but that's also with points, and I think it's very likely that we cancel that. So,
your plans are very fungible. Apparently, it's a lot of booking and changing and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about booking with points is that it can always be changed. So, we'll see. I don't know. We might do it. We might not.
No other updates?
No updates at all. So I see you have trip plan update here. I've done nothing. I've booked nothing. I've really just done absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so I don't really have any. I haven't booked a bus, but I'm just going to walk up and buy my ticket at the bus station. I don't think there's any reason to book ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I don't really have much of an update on that either. I don't know.
Do we have anything to talk about? Have we decided what we're gonna? So you're definitely not gonna use your celebration dinner on me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna save it.
You're gonna try to go with your wife in January.
Yeah,
all right.
That's the goal.
Go back to Guy Fieri's. I know you cannot get enough donkey sauce.
That's true. I don't think there was actually donkey sauce on anything at the steakhouse. That can't be right. There must have been like a burger or something with donkey sauce on it. I'll have to investigate when I go back to use my Diamond Celebration dinner in January. So that was, a lot of really juicy updates, full of content.
Well, I've got a couple more updates. So last week, I know it's talked about a lot that I have a lot of vacation time at work that expires on December 1st. So I took a few more days off. This was actually 2 weeks ago. This was the week before Thanksgiving. So I went to MGM National Harbor just for a couple hours and played a little bit of video poker, redeemed some free play that I had there, and played actual real poker for a couple hours. That's my one update. I mean, nothing was very interesting. The poker experience was crowded. It was crowded in the poker room. I do have to say the one thing that I noticed that was definitely different was MGM is kind of 10 top poker tables, which I think is the norm. Horseshoe is 9 top, and I think 9 is like way more than 11% more pleasant than 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it makes a big difference to have that little extra bit of space and to get the game moving like that little bit more quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I never play poker, but I agree. I think 6 would be ideal, but that's obviously like not going to happen. That was my preferred online.
Online, you played at the 6 tables, not the 10
way
tables.
Back in the day. Yeah. So, thoughts on MGM National Harbor? I know you've given some in the past, but I've still never been.
I mean, it's nice, but it just, I don't know. There's something about it. I don't like it.
Did it make you want to play poker in December in AC, or is that not how you want to spend your AC time?
Yeah, I don't think... Well, it depends. Maybe after you leave, I might play a little poker at Borgata. I mean, which is, by all accounts, one of the best poker rooms on the East Coast. But yeah, probably one of the best poker rooms in the country, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I went more often, it would be something I would definitely do a lot more. And it's a game I find very interesting, but yeah, I just don't have the time to get the reps in that I really need to do anything with it.
I've decided that I don't find it interesting.
Really? It's a very interesting game.
It's a lot of sitting around. You're playing against other people instead of the house. It's just not what I want to go to the casino to do. It's one thing if it's like online.
You can actually win.
Even online, I had money in account and I just never played.
Yeah. I played a lot in college online. Not a lot, but a medium bit.
I played much more when it was in the boom period.
Yes.
Like right around
2003,
turning 21, yeah. So I don't know. I just don't have any interest. Like because you really have to sit down for a long time, so that's a big part of it. Mm-hmm. Like I don't have the attention span for that. Yeah. Sort of by not like to say it's some personality trait, but like I feel like by design in my Atlantic City and Vegas trips, like I don't want to have a long attention span. I want to bounce around and do a bunch of stuff. So playing poker
don't have
not
like the
really...
right personality for poker either. Like it's a lot of like it's kind of combative like as a game, and that's, as we've talked about a lot over the last few episodes, not really how you are.
Yeah, that's not fun to me.
No.
That's not... I go to relax. I want to relax. Poker is not relaxing.
Poker's great because it's like...
It's both slow and not relaxing. It is maybe the worst thing. It's not the worst thing. It's just a bad combination for my personality. Anyways, What were you going to say? You love it.
Yeah, it's a great conduit for trash talk. So
yeah, that's another thing I don't like at all.
It's good. It's good. No one gets tilted in poker like Tucker does. It's amazing. So that was my one update. I guess the more pertinent update for everyone, if they want to know. So there was a big meetup at Horseshoe on Saturday, 2 days ago. And so I met up with our friend Eric from VC.
Vegas Confessions, for those not aware of the shorthand.
Yeah, Tim from The Better Life, our friend and Facebook admin Terry, Jonathan from the Facebook group, Carl, who you know, so a few more people who I'm sorry I've forgotten your name, but yeah, it was a good night. We just basically hung out at a Pai-Gow poker table the entire night, which is just fine with me. It's not tiles, but you know, it's still an enjoyable experience.
Did Terry and Carl tell you that they met unintentionally I think at Caesars in
They
AC?
did say that they were both just coming from Atlantic City.
Yeah, so Terry tweeted at me saying that he was sitting at a table and Due for a Win came up because, you know, if you're at a table in Atlantic City,
right,
Due for a Win's probably going to come up like at, I would guess 50. If you're at a table for more than an hour, like 50% of the time, Due for a Win's going to come up. And it turned out he was sitting next to Carl at the Pai-Gow poker table. So that's funny.
So I do have a bit of a story about our Pai-Gow experience at the Horseshoe, though. It was with what has to be the worst dealer I've ever had.
Because you were trash talking them and put them on tilt?
They were just, this dealer just wasn't very experienced with the game, I think. And
Pai-Gow poker?
Let me just kind of talk you through some of the mistakes that were happening. So they were missetting their hand all the time.
Like just not the house way, you mean? Or you mean actual missetting?
No, not missetting, but just, well, I'll get to it. So consistently throughout the entire process, the dealer thought that, like, when the players had three of a kind and she had a straight, like, she was paying the players. I think she thought three of a kind beat a straight.
Sweet.
Could not calculate commissions at all. I had a $60 bet out the whole time and was paying $2 commission on it. There was times she just did not take down bets that just lost. Like, just left them up. Like, just didn't have a handle on the game at all. Like, not. It
sounds like a great dealer.
Remotely. Well, so the thing is, like, it was so bad that, like, I always tip. Every hand, basically, I tip $1, no matter what. And I was like, I don't even want to tip because this is so terrible. But for a player, it was great. And we were actually making a joke. Eric made the joke at your expense that at Harrah's, you know, they came down and tapped you on the shoulder and are like, hey, you actually lost that hand. And I said in response to that, I'm like, if that happened, and we were actually at the table when we were having this conversation, probably with her there, but I was like, if that happened tonight, they would be like into the 4 digits that they would be asking for from us.
And it would take hours just to go through every hand situation.
I mean, it was
commissioned and mispay and stuff.
It was horrific job of dealing. And I'll, like, what I think the problem was, so they had the new system where you, like, where the machine tells the dealer how to set the high hand. So it, like, tells the dealer how to make the hands. And I think that was, like, the problem. And, like, several times she had a straight in the, well, I guess it's the high hand. So the machine tells her how to set the low hand, which is the 2-card hand. So she had a straight in the high hand that she played as a pair of aces, like, several times. And just, like, didn't have a grasp on, like, what she was making. She also told me once I made a straight when I just absolutely did not make a straight with my high hand. But I think the hand setter, like, if I were Horseshoe, I would be like, you are not allowed to do that until you try to set the hand yourself, because she was just completely not paying attention to anything, just doing exactly what the hand setter told her to do. And, like, so she wasn't even trying to make, like, either hand, and then just wasn't thinking about it, and was like, you know, an ace and a joker, like, oh, that's a pair of aces.
I have a counter theory.
Okay.
Which is that Horseshoe has the hand setter and thinks any idiot can deal Pai-Gow.
I agree with that 100% too.
So maybe it's just that she's not even really trained. And so she's just like, use the hand setter. What is there to know? You know the poker rankings, but then she doesn't actually, or whoever doesn't actually know the
it wasn't
poker
even
rankings.
only that, but like, you know, there are cameras, right? Presumably, like, someone was watching the game at all times, like, didn't notice, like, how horrific this was. Like, the pit was over there several times when she was just, like, mispaying stuff and, like, wasn't even paying attention at all, just standing at the table absentmindedly.
That's so weird.
So.
That's bizarre.
It was pretty crazy. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they believe that, like, hey, anyone can do this because this tells them how to set the hand, but if I were in charge of the horseshoe, especially after that, like, I would make it a rule. And, like, we had another, like, her backup or whatever was, like, a guy who was obviously new to the game, too. But he was trying to set his hand and then use the machine to tell him how to set it.
Yeah.
And so, like, he was way better at it. Like, if I were running the horseshoe or any casino, I'd be like, you are never, ever, ever allowed to look at that until you've tried to set your hand.
Yeah, I mean, just as a way of making sure the person actually understands the game.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
So
interesting. That's wild stuff.
I was, you know, at the horseshoe for quite a long time on Saturday night. Got home very, very late, and unfortunately, I actually I lost a couple $100 there, which was shocking considering how, you know, I mean, even for me, like, you know, I'm not like a crazy high bettor, but I had multiple bets of $100 out at a time against her and stuff because of just I'm not an AP, but I'm like, I will never be in a game as good as this for the player ever again in my life.
Yeah.
So,
did anybody make out like a bandit?
Yes. People.
Everyone but you.
Me and Eric both didn't do great, I think, but everyone else was doing very, very well.
Well, good stuff.
But you know, sometimes
not so good
you don't get the cards. So,
yeah.
Even though I was probably had left a lot of bets up there that shouldn't have been left up there and stuff, it was still didn't work out in the long run. But it was definitely a good game.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed it. I didn't actually end up coming down to Maryland for Thanksgiving this year. We hosted, which was an experience.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we hosted actually on Saturday, but everything went well. We didn't, you know, horribly undercook the turkey like we did last year, so that was good. I feel like that's once the bar is set so low that just like, hey, we didn't even cook the turkey. Once the turkey was cooked, everything else was gravy, Kyle.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
All right, moving on. So Harrah's is spending $56 million to renovate the Harbor Tower rooms, which I have to say need an update. So it's good to hear. And they're naming it the Coastal Tower because when everyone thinks of the Harbor Tower, they of course think of Due for a Win episode 1, where we complain about the showers overflowing. Yeah, or is that the Marina Tower?
Either or, they're pretty similar. But this has become a pretty standard for Caesars, I think. I mean, they didn't rename the Waterview Tower, but it does seem like for the most part, when it's one of the really crappy towers that they're updating, they rename it. Like they renamed I don't even remember what the Forum Tower was before now. Temple Tower? I believe it was the Temple Tower.
Yes, that is wait, isn't it the Temple Tower now?
No, I'm pretty sure it's
okay, yeah, then it was definitely Temple Tower.
And then, you know, Caesars Vegas did the same thing, renamed the towers. I don't remember what the names were, previous or current, but yeah, so not too surprising. Good to see them putting money into this, although my initial reaction was definitely like, those rooms need to be updated, but also, like, you know, it really needs to be updated as just anything at Caesars and Bally's. Like, please put some money into those properties.
Well, I suspect they will not be putting money into Bally's, but you would think they would do a little something at Caesars.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I mean, I guess...
Well, so how was it in the Centurion Tower room when you were there recently-ish? Like, was it still nice, or was it, like, getting a little dated?
They're still really nice. They're starting to show a little wear, at least the one I was in, and I think that's not too surprising. Right. Like, the lifespan of hotel rooms without, you know, refreshing
carpets
to, like,
and buy new furniture and stuff every once in a while. Just what has to happen.
But, I mean, I still really love those rooms, but...
It was no Garden Tower room that we went in, and it was flooded, and then we left.
Yes, no, not that bad. It wasn't bad. I mean, it's just a little bit, you know, you can see the sort of, like, frayed edges on furniture and carpeting and stuff like that. So, just a little bit of wear.
Yeah, once again, Caesars is definitely spending money on Harrah's and not on the other properties, which is not new news here. So,
no.
Moving on. Resorts permanent DraftKings Sportsbook is open up in the old Margaritaville space, kind of right outside of Eastwind, right?
Yeah, the noodle bar. So across from the actual Margaritaville restaurant. I'm not sad to see that Margaritaville space go. I know some people in, I think, the Everything AC Facebook group were kind of disappointed about it. I think mainly because
up there ever really.
Well, I think the reason people liked it is that it was a quiet part of the casino, and you could kind of just go there and mostly be left alone. Not a bunch of smokers, not a bunch of whatever.
The casino that I think about the most is like having an interesting space when you first walk in off the boardwalk.
Ocean
Showboat.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Because they had that little upstairs space. Because it's kind of the same in Resorts and Showboat. It's like a little space, and then you have to go down a few stairs to get to like the main floor. But they'd like in Showboat, they'd have like dancers occasionally, or like they had a few tables. Like briefly, the poker room was actually there too. But it was like an interesting little space when you walked in. And like for Resorts, I think it's like a totally uninteresting space. So it's probably a good place to put the sportsbook.
Yeah, so they had the House of Blues, like theme tables. The entrance to House of Blues right there in the bar.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a really cool space. Sad, I miss Showboat. I miss Showboat in its actual... I mean, all that signage and stuff is still there when you go, and it's just off. It's really depressing, like all the neon and whatever.
Which we didn't... I actually deleted it from the agenda, but I'll still bring it up that the CRDA did approve the plans that the Showboat submitted to have apartments. So Showboat's hotel rooms are turning into apartments.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that. I made my feelings clear last episode. So.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yep.
Not terribly exciting for us.
Nope.
Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall open?
Yeah.
Its grand opening was on Wednesday, I think.
The 22nd.
Right before Thanksgiving, right?
21st.
Yeah, so the day before Thanksgiving they opened, which I think is a very big drinking day.
Yes.
So good day to open a beer hall. Looks cool. I'm interested in checking it out, although I doubt we'll make it over there in December because of our marina focus. But
yeah, we'll have to do it in the spring.
Yeah, especially if I'm going to be spending time in Hard Rock, it's very close, very easy.
Yeah, unfortunately, next time I'm in Atlantic City is probably not going to be till like end of March, early April. I would guess at the earliest. So
that feels optimistic even. After
April is probably the reasonable bet. That's the interesting over under.
Okay.
March is optimistic.
No, yeah, that's a month out from your Macau trip. You got to rebuild your gambling stash at some point.
I'm actually doing okay. I've done pretty well in terms of the stash, but in terms of the social stash that I need to build, yes, I need to.
Yeah, I was actually thinking you were going to end up spending your gambling stash on non-gambling things in Macau, but maybe you keep those two things separate.
No. That's what credit cards are for.
Nice.
Gambling stash is my cash.
Yes. It's like I will run up infinite credit card debt, but I will not touch.
That's right.
My gambling money.
Correct.
That's financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Do not run up credit card debt. Yes. I think that's good advice. So
sometimes it's worth it. It depends.
But that's for the Travel Fanboy podcast.
Hey man, you should make sure to take your full match before paying off your credit cards. That's mathematically sound advice, but maybe not psychologically sound.
Yeah.
401k match is a bigger upside than the downside of paying a credit card debt. So
interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's like 100% bonus or 50% bonus or something for 401k. Those credit cards are like 25% interest rate. So.
Don't say you didn't learn anything on the Do for the Win podcast.
Like I said, psychologically, it might not be a good idea. But if you are only looking at the math, it's smart. Also, 401k is pretty much untouchable in any bankruptcy or anything. So,
yeah, I mean, you came here to hear about the Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall having its grand opening, and
but instead
suddenly
you get financial advice.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't take my advice.
We do not have whatever fiduciary responsibilities.
Yes. I suspect if the court thinks that you're gaming the system by shoving a bunch of money in your 401k, they might not be as willing to let it lie as they would in normal circumstances. Anyway, Atlantic Club maybe is getting sold for the 1000th time, and maybe it will be turned into a hotel without a gaming thing for the 1000th time. Do you have any thoughts on this, or have we heard this all before and we don't have any thoughts until something happens?
Yeah, I mean, TJ on Properties, who owns it, has certainly been through this little song and dance before. Stockton was the previous people looking into buying it. That didn't happen.
Two indoor water parks before that.
Indoor water park plans. This has not been mentioned as any sort of indoor water park. It seems like it's just going to be a Claire's sort of situation where it's a hotel, no casino. I mean, that's hopefully not a showboat situation. Hopefully they do it up and make it a little nicer than that. But
well, Atlantic Club, they have there's like the deed restriction on it, right? But I would think otherwise it's just a strange decision to make a hotel in Atlantic City without a casino.
Yeah, and I don't think the location's particularly great, although maybe
with Stockton,
maybe Stockton changes that. Yeah,
I mean that's the only reason ever I think anyone would stay at a hotel in that location, because it is quite a hike from anything else other than Tropicana.
Advanced Consulting Inc. is a New York-based company that's looking into this purchase. Their CEO, whose name is Jem Lake, said work is being done and we're in heavy negotiations. So we'll see. That means nothing is actually done. But a couple A-plus names between Jem Lake and the writer of this article, who is Avalon Zappo of the Press of Atlantic City. So I'll link to that article in the show notes.
Very good. So I know the real reason that you all are here, because you want to hear about October data.
Everyone loves the gambling revenue, except probably the
all
players involved.
Every podcast host of Due for a Win likes talking about the October data.
Yes. All the casinos are probably not too happy about the October data, I would say.
I would think not. And do you know what casino is probably the least happy about it? The Orc. The good old Ocean Resort Casino.
I disagree.
You don't think they're the least happy?
No, let's get into the numbers and we'll start.
Yeah, you're right. There's another company with 3 letters that are C and E and T that are probably the least happy. But
yeah, so I mean, it was very similar story to September, really. Like, resort-wide was up 8% year over year over October of 2017. September was up 7.7% over September of 2017. So, pretty similar numbers, but that's also not particularly good when you add 2 new casinos. But so I guess my question for you is that it? Like, is this what we're going to see? 8% is what the market is going to add to it?
So we're talking about like $15 million more than last year, and Hard Rock and Ocean were about 35 million, a little bit more. So the other casinos were down like 21 million or something like that.
Yeah, so Atlantic City as a whole up 8% on just the total number, but Ocean and Hard Rock are making up 18% of Atlantic City revenue the last 2 months. So kind of tells you right there that there's a significant percentage coming out of everyone else.
I know, shocking. I don't know if you've heard this before, but there was one winner year over year, and it, of course, was the Tropicana, which is now, I think, absolutely solidified itself as the number 2 casino in the market.
Do you think that it helps them that they are
so far
away from the other 2 new ones?
Maybe. I don't really think so, though, because you could say all of the casinos in the marina are equally far away from anything, because basically everyone would drive to another casino from there.
Trop kind of feels like it's Trop, for one thing, being very like self-sustaining. Like, it has a bunch of restaurants and shopping, more shopping than just about anywhere else in the city.
Yeah, it definitely does. Don't think anywhere else has nearly.
Yeah,
the shopping has head and shoulders better, I think. Right? What else can compare?
But there's not a whole lot of reason to leave, and it's kind of on its own little.
Unless you just need to run out to Steel's Fudge real quick and then come back.
Right, but you're not going to leave there to go to Bally's, right? Or like even Caesars, I think at this point is not offering that much that Tropicana doesn't have.
Yeah.
So
decent gaming, but other than that,
yeah, I mean, better gaming, better service on the casino floor, I would say, but
doesn't have West Tower, which is always a plus.
Yeah, so interesting that they were up year over year, 2%, kind of crazy. The biggest loser is Harrah's and Caesars, 21% each.
Yeah.
Real bad.
It's aggressively bad.
And then Bally's, the only other casino down more than 10%, and they were down 14.7%. So, yeah, CET just horrifically bad month for them.
Mean, that's how they've been doing since the new casinos opened. I mean, I think there are 3 casinos have been consistently the 3 biggest losers over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, the gaps have not been this egregious where they're so far removed from everyone else. To go from Golden Nugget down 9.8%, Borgata down 8.1%, Resorts down 8.1%. Like, those numbers are all sort of in the same realm.
Trop up 2%.
Yeah, but then you jump to Bally's down 14.7 and then 21 for Harrison. That's a huge, huge, huge jump. So kind of crazy. It does not seem good for Caesars, and it makes me a little nervous about the changes that are coming to Caesars with either a new CEO or potentially some sort of takeover bid. But that's putting the cart ahead of the horse or whatever, if that's using that expression right. Probably not something to worry about just yet, but it seems not good. And it's really disappointing how bad Caesar's doing to me, because Caesar's has always been kind of the flagship, and that doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
It hasn't always been the flagship. I mean, I think Harrah's has pretty consistently throughout time done better than Caesar's, but
yeah, maybe just in my mind.
So I will doubt your premise.
Yeah, that's probably true. Harrah's
is definitely the flagship in Atlantic City for them. I mean, I think
for a couple of years.
Yeah, for as long as we've been following it, it has been. So yeah,
it used to be much closer than it is now, for sure.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there were months. So like September 2012, $33 million for Caesars, 32 for Harrah's. October of 2012, $26 million for each of them. Like, they were right around each other, and then they've just diverged.
All right. So starting in 2012, let's look at their annual difference. So it's like $40 million in 2012. All right,
yeah.
$20 million in 13, $35 million in 14. Ooh, like $65 million in 15. $55 million in 16.
Yeah.
$40 million in 17.
Right.
So Harrah's has always been a pretty solid number two. I mean, for a long time, I mean, it was the solid number two in the market forever until now that it's Tropicana, I think. I think they've passed that baton on.
Yeah.
So speaking of...
Now Caesars is just number two.
Companies that... Yes, that is true. Speaking of companies that wanted to be the solid number two in the market, Hard Rock came in at $23.2 million. What do you think of that number?
It's real bad. I mean, I don't know. You can't really sugarcoat the numbers for them, because they haven't come in anywhere near, I think, what we were hoping for. No. I mean, it's not really that much down from Hard Rock from September's numbers for Hard Rock.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty reasonable number compared to September, but it's, I'm sure, disappointing compared to what they were thinking. And I think they've dropped off a lot harder since the summer than a lot of the other properties, but probably because a lot of the people who came in the summer just wanted to see what it was like, I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't drop off from September to October as much as the other casinos did, but their drop off from August to September was bigger than most of the other casinos. So, yeah, I mean, that first few months sort of buzz that they had, which they had a lot of, never really seemed to translate into a ton of revenue. Hopefully they're still doing reasonably well. But yeah, I mean, definitely not really the numbers we were expecting. Hopefully we're not in for a really ugly winter, but, any other thoughts on the data? Well, we should talk a little bit about Ocean, right? We haven't really mentioned Ocean.
We need to get to it. $13.0 million. Oh yeah. That's not good.
So it's bad, but they're coming down from 14.9 in September, and quickly looking at what Revel did, it's actually better than what Revel did, I think, in their first October. It beat both of Revel's Octobers.
Yes, so Revel in 2012, Revel had 9.2 million in October.
Yeah.
Which meant it actually beat two of the properties in Atlantic City back then. The Trump Plaza, which was always just horrific, and Golden Nugget, which was also a horror show back then.
Yeah, so, it's hard to compare to 2012 and 2013, even though it's like, hey, it's better than Revel. And up to this point, Ocean had been losing to its months similar months to Revel. So, yeah, I mean, it's better, but 2012 or 2013 were just awful off seasons for everybody. So
Look at these
Not
2013 numbers look at Tropicana had 13.8 million. Like how the mighty have fallen and how Tropicana's really come back. And
they pumped a ton of money into the property. Yeah, I mean, Tropicana was in rough shape. Mm-hmm. November of 2012, I should point out that Revel put up 6.2 million 7 months after opening. Mm-hmm. So I'm fairly confident that Ocean's going to beat that number. Yeah, if anybody puts up something with a 6 in the front of it, they should just close, I think, in 2018 in Atlantic City.
You think? So what do you think? What's your prediction for, like, what's usually the softest month, like January, February?
Yeah, probably.
Like, what do you think we're in for? We're certainly going to be in for some single digits, right?
I don't think that's a guarantee.
Oh, I bet we do. You want to bet on it?
I think it's very close to 50-50, and if they do, it's going to be in like the high 9s.
Come on, take no single digits. I'll put 5 or 10 on it or something.
I already owe you a meal at the Hard Rock, which I have not paid up for.
Yeah, that's true.
So clearly, you can't take anything I say at face value.
I can still bet you though.
Yeah, I'll bet you $10.
All right.
We could bet like a $10 sports bet of the other person's choosing.
Yeah, or just $10. But either way, whatever, we can do that.
$10 hard way.
$10 bet. One of us, the winner, will get a $10 Orioles to win the 2019 World Series.
Oh yeah, that's a big number.
That would be a lot of money. That $10 would become a lot, given that I think the over/under for our wins is probably going to be like 50 next year.
Yeah. So this bet won't be settled. So just $10. We'll figure out if it's a bet or if it's just straight up $10. But so what's?
It's not going to be settled until at least like 2 weeks when the November numbers come out.
So I'm saying no single digits for any casino.
Yep. Through like March or whatever.
I mean, basically
April.
Next summer. Effectively.
Yeah.
Yep. If we get to April, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Once we get to April, it's past the danger zone, I think.
Yeah. So okay.
January, Sounds February, good. March definitely still has some opportunity for it to happen, though. I think this is a good bet for me. I think I'm a heavy favorite.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, we'll see. So Resorts put up an $11.5 million month in January of this year, and they're down 10% from last year. So maybe not. Maybe that'd be like 10.4. We'll see.
It's gonna be close.
If anyone does it, I think it's gonna be Ocean.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And they're still falling precipitously, so
they'll be fine. Go team. I know how much research you did on the quarterly profit.
Yeah, so I opened it up. I'm like, I'll really dig into these numbers. I open up Bally's and I'm just like, nah, I don't care about this. I look at the profit numbers at the end of the year, and we have a section in my spreadsheet where I can look at that, but I just don't really care that much quarter to quarter. Though, I mean, if you want to talk about what was written about it, basically it's that revenue numbers were up, which we see, of course. They were up 8% from last year, which we just talked about, but the profits are down, which is not surprising at all with 2 extra casinos.
Yeah, so profits down 15.3% from Q3 of 2017, so that's July, August, and September, the big summer months. Mm-hmm. But like you said, revenue increased by 17.8%. So, the revenue increase...
That's interesting. So the gaming revenue, just to look at it, was up 12.8%, although that does not include online. But it sounds like at least, the hotel rooms, food, and other options are overperforming by a little bit compared to last year.
Yeah, so that's good to see, because I think that's something we've talked about really since the start of the podcast, that AC has always been incredibly gambling revenue focused. So, I don't know how much of this is made up of just hotel rooms are more expensive basically across the industry. So you're getting some from that, but I expect there's also, I think the restaurants in AC in general are getting more exciting across the casinos. So, Hard Rock obviously brings in a bunch of new stuff, a bunch of concerts and everything, but the 17.8% at first I was like, well, that's great. 17.8% is a big increase in revenue. So it's just a matter of figuring out how to maximize profit from that, and over the long term, so over a quarter, it's not even that big a deal, right? To not have, if your revenue's up, like you got to be happier with that than the profit change. Yep. So the issue is that in the same quarter in 2017, there were $781.2 million in 2017. So that was $111.6 million per casino. This year, it was $102.2 million per casino. So it's actually $9 million less per casino, and that doesn't take into account the fact that the two new casinos are much bigger than like Resorts and Golden Nugget, who were on the market at that time. So
I mean, they're much bigger in room quantity, square footage, etc. I mean, Hard Rock's bigger than those casinos in terms of profitability, or in terms of numbers, but Ocean isn't really. I'd say if you take any like random a sampling of two casinos, it's going to be about the same as Hard Rock and Ocean put together, unless you happen to get Borgata as one of those casinos, in which case it dwarfs it. But
right, So I don't really know what to make of these numbers, other than I think it was probably the headline was basically like, "Ooh, resort-wide profits down," but my takeaway was not as down on it as that was.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think revenues being up is because of more casinos, and profitability down is because of more casinos. I mean, I think that's kind of straightforward.
It's a good point.
I don't know.
Let's leave it at that.
Yep.
Anything to add before we end?
No, I think we can just close this one up. If you want to join us or any of our other listeners, you can do so at the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/DoForAWin. You can find all of our great content at DoForAWin.com. If you're trying to find our podcast, you've done a good job. You can reach out to Craig on Twitter at DoForAWin, or send them emails at DoForAWin@gmail.com. Do you have any last thoughts, Craig?
So how soon after the conversion are you going to buy one of the apartments at the Showboat?
Is it actually apartments, or are they going to be condos? I mean, it's going to be apartments, right?
Oh, are they actually going to rent them out? Are they going to hire a management company? I guess we don't know about all that.
I don't know.
What good, firm content of just knowing exactly what we're talking about to end the show on.
That's what the people want.
Yep.
Don't worry. No one's listening at this point.
Boy.
You're just fast-forwarding to see whatever clever thing we say after the music.
There's going to be nothing.
Da, 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 da.
All right, we're out of here.
All right. Have a good one. We'll talk to you guys in a few weeks.
Better than any Patreon is actually
just
doing
your podcast at work
while on the clock at work. Yes.